We are going back to WCW 1993 and looking at that very funny debut of the Shockmaster. It was Clash of the Champions 24 and you had Sting and his partner, the British Bulldog, setting up a match at War Games with Sid Vicious and Harlem Heat. So Sting and the Bulldog, who already had Dustin Rhodes on their team as well, were about to introduce the fourth man to their team, their mystery partner. And it was Sting who did the honours with the line, "Our partner is going to shock the world because he is none other than the Shockmaster." And that's when this happened.
I told you.
And you gotta feel bad for the guy. The pyro went off, he fell over, his helmet come off. Yes, that is a stormtrooper helmet, covered in glitter and various other stuff. Yeah, that was truly shocking, right? Let's check that out one more time. Poor guy, there was a very awkward silence afterwards. Needless to say, nobody really knew what to say or what to do. And the guy at the centre of it all was Fred Ottman. Some of you may know him better as Tugboat or Typhoon when he tagged with Earthquake as the natural disasters in the WWE. The promo continued and everybody stayed in character despite what had happened, especially Sid. He didn't let up one bit. But needless to say, it was a complete disaster. And then we got to hear the Shockmaster's voice, played as a voiceover. I don't know what was worse, the fall or his voice.
They call me the Shockmaster. You've ruled the world long enough, Sid Vicious. Get ready. Come on, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me?
And there's a part there, if you watch the clip back, when the Shockmaster was actually miming Sid's words. You see, the Shockmaster was supposed to be miming his voiceover that came over, but he obviously couldn't even barely see Sid through that mask, and he thought Sid's voice was the voiceover, and he started miming to Sid's words. God, it's got worse and worse. It's no wonder the WWE was thrashing the WCW in the ratings at this time, the late 80s and early 90s. Glad to see that WCW eventually did improve. Very much so with the introduction of the NWO, etc. But back in these days, this is some pretty shocking stuff, right? Dusty Rhodes, who was with WCW at the time, offered this explanation. Earlier in the day, Fred busted through the wall. It was all good. David Crockett had somebody nail a 2x4 on the bottom of the new wall that wasn't there when he busted through the wall the first time. And that we can take as the explanation as to why it happened. Oh, what the heck, let's check it out again. And now we are going to hear from the Shockmaster himself, Fred Ottman, as he talks us through what happened that night.
When you debuted as Shockmaster in WCW, you came in, they had that situation where the pyro went off and you fell through the wall. Tell me a little bit about that day.
Well, the thing is, I didn't fall through the wall. I was actually behind the wall. It was a live shoot at Bash at the Beach up in Daytona Beach. And they were going to do the interview and stuff like that. They actually built the set just like they build regular walls in the house with 2x4 studs and that stuff. Mm-hmm. And what happened, the mask I was wearing was a mask they had put together. It was a stormtrooper mask. All right, and the stormtrooper mask was covered completely with glitter, and they drilled holes through the eye holes on the stormtrooper mask, so the glitter was coming through.
Oh man!
From the outside into my eyes, which you could barely see out of it to begin with. And so their quick fix was to have the secretary pull off her pantyhose, chop up some of the pantyhose, and glue it over the eye hole. So now I've got dark tan pantyhose over small holes that you couldn't look at even if the glitter wasn't in place. Alright, so now I go out there, wear this, I gotta go out there at the certain time and bust through the wall and cut a promo. Alright, well, when I go out there, my Graham is in the position there and he's gonna give me the cue. He's telling me, this wall, it was 5/8 sheet rock and then 2x4 studs and that. you know, and I'm pretty wide, and he said, you're going to have to bust through the wall. Actually bust the wall out. Well, I said, okay, so I put both hands over. He's going to give me the cue, so I got both of my hands as double-fisted, and I'm going to bust the wall out with my hands and arms. So when I reared back, he gave me the cue, I busted through the wall, but it did not break at my, I should have kicked the bottom out. It didn't break at my knees. So what happened was I blew my weight and my strength, I blew the wall out, but I flipped at the knees right there, right over the wall. And so at that point when I hit the floor, the headpiece popped off like a champagne cork. So I turned from the camera to hide my face to scoop up the mask, put it on my head, and you know, and jump up and cut the promo. And you know, because there was nothing to think about, embarrassment or anything like that, because it was a live shot.
So there it goes, guys. You got to feel bad for the guy. He did end up joining Sting, Davey Boy Smith, and Dustin Rhodes at Full Brawl the following month, and actually won that War Games match for his team. However, they did not have him come out as the Shockmaster. They had him dressed up as a construction worker, and this was to be his new gimmick. So there it goes, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. And just before we go, one last time. Thanks heaps, guys, for tuning into the video. Be sure to drop a scorpion death drop on that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome pro wrestling action from the WWE, the WCW, and much more.